Yo, this video will focus on analyzing the events that led up to my last few wins. The purpose of this video is to both help me improve my own gameplay and also voice out my thought process throughout whatever clips are being shown here. I'll be showing the clips first without the editing and then add my step-by-step commentary afterwards. Hopefully this turns out to be something that ultimately benefits both myself and you to try and improve decision making in a high stakes environment like an endgame like these. The first clip will have no audio because I accidentally had Discord audible, but I was in a 3-stack with an Alex and a Rozzy, and I'm playing AD Sniper Aya. Right when I realize there's another team initiating a fight, I try my best to run away as far as possible while poking wherever I can. I use my ult here to try and push the fight so that the Leon is pushed back, ultimately giving us a chance to push towards them rather than we being the ones to run away. I focus my new attention towards the Felix because he's now the new frontline. I also would really hate to see him dive into me because I have almost no way of getting him off me. Here I constantly shift my focus to whoever is in front, posing the biggest threat to possibly running me down. The way I view a fight, if everything seems even, is that I would like to be as far away from the player that is pushed up the farthest. Being dove will suck a lot for me because the way I build Aya leaves me in a position where I get obliterated if they even sneeze on me. Something I'm practicing more often when I'm running this specific build is to activate an ability while I'm reloading. This is how I keep applying damage while I'm literally doing nothing else. The star of my build are the basic attacks, so abilities aren't a priority, meaning I should use them as filler. Seeing the stasis pop gives me two options. One is to stand back and wait for the stasis to wear off, and the second is to push into the team and continue fighting. I choose to run in because I do have 2 movement abilities off cooldown now, but even though there's a risk, we can't give them the chance to recover. We get the Felix down to really low HP that forces him to back off. We then start poking the Tazia and getting her to low HP as well. Felix comes out of nowhere and uses an ability that I think is just to poke me out, but I end up dashing anyways because I get scared. I actually didn't think it would stun me. I thought it was an actual wall that I could start running around. I have to keep pressure or else they will recover their HP and then we'll have 0 chance of winning a 2v3. I use my W to clear the bush, making Leon leave. It was here I realized Leon miraculously doesn't hurt me that much, but I see the Tazia running forward, so I have to use my dash to get away. She realizes I'm pretty far away and starts to pack up. At this point, I don't see the Leon as a real threat to deal meaningful damage to me, giving me the confidence to full push into the backline. Both Felix and Tazia are so close to death. Leon uses his Q, which alerts me to the fact that he probably has a knockup ability, so I need to start moving backwards. He doesn't use it, but that small scare gave them a really good chance to escape, so I use my weapon ability to try and stall them. I actually believe that if Felix didn't die here, we would have lost the game. Felix taking both of those shots and dying turned the fight into a 2v2. Realizing this, I push forward. The Leon never seeing me as a threat is actually really good for me, but honestly it's kind of insulting. We start chipping at the Leon who's by himself right now while the Tazia heals up, and for some reason she doesn't pick up the Felix. I pop my ult here to try and catch the Leon in the bush before he can retreat, but he does anyways. So last up is Tazia, who all-ins the Rozzy and then immediately leaves. I see the 2 bodies of the enemy right here, so I'm gonna pick up my teammate right now because if I start reviving first, the Tazia has no chance of reviving her teammates in time, and because of that we're able to clean up the kill and we rush to teleport because neither of us realized this was the final fight. In this next clip, I'm also in a 3-stack with 2 other friends who are playing Jan and Piolo, 2 really good frontline characters. Right now we're waiting for Jan to buy an item, and we go to stand right outside the area that's about to turn into an unsafe zone.
The temporary safe zone will be designated soon. Terminated. A subject has been terminated.
The Piolo and I get caught off guard when the Jackie just shows up out of seemingly nowhere. I want to stay here because in the case Jan somehow gets here, I'll be able to tuck behind him and try to secure more damage onto the enemy. The Yuki dives me and I shotgun my ult immediately to get him off me. I spend as much time as I possibly can in the safe area so that I can conserve the amount of seconds I can stay in the unsafe zone. I use my W here so that I can keep moving while still doing damage. I figure that if I were to try and kite using basic attacks, the Yuki would catch up to me and kill me. Since every time I use a basic attack, I stand still for a little bit. I misclick my basic attack on Yuki, which makes my character walk forward accidentally, and I'm forced to use my dash to get away. Yuki does back off, which allows me to get some final pot shots in and take him down. Next up is the Jackie, who starts to keep me in the unsafe zone for an uncomfortable amount of time. Again, I use my W so that I stay moving whilst doing damage. Thankfully, Jan comes in to peel her off me so that I can reload and get into a better position. I really want to take down the Jackie though, and when she starts to go for the revive on Yuki, I try my best to stop that. Again, thankfully the Jan was able to follow up with what I was trying to do and dives the Vanya. Jackie paths really badly and lets me get a final shot to finish her off. Switching my focus to the Vanya, I mean, I would have lost the fight if Vanya decided I was a bigger threat than the Jan. People not seeing me as a threat really is just a recurring theme, huh? Okay, this last clip is 2 fights from the same game, and again, I'm on a 3-stack with my friends who are playing Aiden and Chiara. If you would like to see more content where I play solo queue, definitely go ahead and tell me in the comments. I'll show both the fights first, and then go into the explanation afterward.
Killing spree prevails. A subject has been terminated.
11 catches me in a pretty annoying position because I only have 2 shots in my sniper, so I have to use dash and use my W. I used my ult here because I expected them to chase me down rather than turn to focus on my 2 teammates. As the previous clips have shown though, I'm not really worth focusing it seems. Heart uses her ult and I'm pretty sure I can outrange it, so I try to walk out and poke from the outside. After which I have angered both Heart and Rio, so they start running straight toward me. If Heart at any point used her charm, I would have been out of the fight immediately. Rio gets interrupted and cancelled some of her basic attacks, letting me create more distance between us. I have a feeling that I simply just have more range than she does, so I can get the first few shots on her. And in my head I think we have about the same damage output, but I have more health, so I figure I could beat her. For the next fight, I start off by poking down the Hyunwoo, because if I remember correctly, his dash isn't long enough to reach me from that range. Aiden decides to start the fight, and Hyunwoo goes straight for him. The Felix pokes me, but turns around. The Yuki appears from the side and dashes towards me, where I shotgun my ult again because I really don't want him in my face. I use the tiny dash for the extra attack range, hopefully allowing me to kite at a much safer distance. It doesn't matter though, because the Yuki dashes towards me anyways and uses his ult. I thought I'd be out of range here, but I still get hit by Yuki's ult. We get him down anyways though. I run back to join the fight, and Felix immediately dashes into me. I wasn't aware that he could do that, so I got really scared. I was able to kite for enough time though to kill him and dash away from his one last attack, which I totally knew was coming. I totally saved my dash just for that. The wick line buff actually ends up killing the Felix, and that's the game. If you watched all of this, thanks for watching. This was a 3-day project for me and I rewrote my script a few times to try and get everything I wanted into it. If you like this type of video, for sure tell me if I should keep going, because this project took me more time to work on than any of my previous videos. Also, if there was anything in the video that I missed or something that struck you the wrong way, also tell me in the comments. As I said, this is purely so that I become a better player, and I want to know if I'm doing something wrong or anything like that. Alright, that's it.